So after what was quite possibly Big Ben Roethlisberger's last game in the NFL as a Pittsburgh Steeler, they're going to have to start thinking about their options for next year. They're going to have to start going through their options for next year. You know, you love Big Ben. He had an amazing career, Hall of Fame career. Has been to 3 Super Bowls, won 2, and he's really fallen off of cliffs ever since that elbow injury he really had. That's when things really started going downhill, in my opinion. So, Big Ben, right? Mike Tomlin, he seems to be an old-fashioned coach. He likes to run the ball. He likes to have a really good defense. He's a defensive coach after all. He likes to play really good defense. He likes to run the ball. He likes to, and pass it when you need to, and pass it to some nice weapons. So, the situation for a quarterback coming in next year isn't terrible. You have a very smart head coach. You have some very good weapons over there in Pittsburgh. They are inconsistent at times, but they're weapons that are there. You have a very talented, one of the best young backs in the league in Najee Harris. You have Baby Gronk, a.k.a. Pat Freiermuth over there. And then you have Eric Ebron, who's a decent tight end. He's okay. But Pat Freiermuth, you could really put in his vicinity, and a lot of times he comes up with a big play. So what are some of the options? So we earlier mentioned about Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. So I don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go out and trade what the Seahawks want for Russ. I don't think the Steelers are that kind of franchise. Even though they're going to desperately need a quarterback, I don't think they're that kind of franchise. And then you go to Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, I really don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to leave Green Bay. I really don't. How could you be or find a better situation? There is no better situation than Green Bay. You have one of the best young offensive-minded head coaches in the league. You have some very darn good weapons in Alan Lazard. You have Scantling, Devontae Adams. You have Tunyon. Yeah, you have Aaron Jones, and then even the backup running back is very good. A.J. Dillon, his name is, and then the offensive line is very good as well. So, and the defense is decent. It's not crazy, but it's decent. It hasn't been as good lately as it was, like early in the season to mid-season. It's been struggling the last few weeks. But there's really not a better situation out there for him, I don't think. I could see him in a Pittsburgh uniform if he actually does leave. Pittsburgh is my number one spot. He wants to go to a franchise that's well run. He's not going to want to go to the Giants. He's not going to want to go to the Texans. He's not going to want to go to a team like that. He wants to go to a team that's well run. That is kind of really built to go places. Could you imagine Aaron Rodgers with the team last year, with the Steelers last year? If they get the offensive line figured out a little more, goodness, Aaron Rodgers would be lethal with this Pittsburgh team. They would be Super Bowl contenders immediately. So, and then you go to some of the other guys who may be available in free agency. Tyrod Taylor's going to be available. Tyrod Taylor really hasn't had that chance. Every time he goes to a team, that team drafts a young quarterback, and they sit behind him, and then he ends up getting hurt, and then that quarterback steps in. And when he has played, he's been a decent quarterback. He's been fairly decent. He just hadn't had a chance to really learn the system, to really learn the guys he's with. He really hasn't had a chance to do so. So you're gonna have maybe Ryan Fitz. I actually think Ryan Fitz is gonna retire after this year, but you're kind of limited with him. Andy Dalton, no, I just can't see it. He's with the Bengals for so many years. I can't see him in a Steelers uniform. I just can't. Then you have Nick Foles. He may be an option you bring in to have some competition if you draft a rookie like Kenny Pickett. Jameis Winston is going to maybe a free agent. Jacoby Brissett. You got Bridgewater. Yeah, not really any guys that you're really interested in. Maybe Mariota if you want to try him. So there's a few intriguing options in free agency, but they really give you a high ceiling? No. They really give you a long-term answer? No. You're kind of going to be in the same situation with Ben. So I don't think they go that route. And then you shift your focus on to the Steelers room itself. You have Mason Rudolph and that Duck Hodges. Or no, you have Mason Rudolph and Dwayne Haskins. So Haskins was a very high pick a few years ago. Maybe they want to tap into some of that potential. Maybe he still has something. Maybe he wants to prove something. We already know what Mason Rudolph is. Don't really want to see him back out there. He's okay, but he's nothing special. But yeah, so nothing really special there. And then you shift your focus to the draft. There's a lot better options in my opinion in the draft itself. Unless you're talking Aaron Rodgers or Russ, I don't see them going anywhere else but the draft, you know? So maybe Kenny Pickett, the Pittsburgh native, he may be a solid option. Will he be there? Maybe not, because the Panthers may end up taking him at 6. Maybe even the Giants end up taking him, even with their 8th pick. So if Kenny Pickett is there, I may take a shot on Kenny Pickett. He's not very athletic, but he has very good accuracy. His anticipation is decent. His arm isn't going to wow you, but he's smart. And he's a player that can really help the team out. Not really versatile. He's not going to, he has just enough to get out of the pocket and escape some pressure, but not much. Then you have Matt Corral, or Corral, however you say it. I just say Matt Corral. So Matt Corral is a bit of an inconsistent, is a bit of a weird prospect, right? He has times where he has some really darn good games, but he has the NFL arm. He has the mentality. I love his leadership. His leadership is great. You want that type of guy in your locker room. Even though he got hurt, he still ended up playing in that bowl. He didn't want to just leave his teammates out like that, and he said it, and it showed when he decided he really wanted to play for them in the bowl game. That was a big game for them, and he ended up playing. So, and he is a good quarterback, at escaping pressure, but he is a bit reckless. He can be a bit reckless at times, but he has confidence. I'd like to see him slide more. I wouldn't like to see all those big hits that he's taken so much of. I don't really like that, but it is what it is, I guess. It happens. Quarterbacks you're going to get quarterbacks like that, like Carson Wentz. They just don't go down. They don't take, they just take the hit a lot of times. Tries to play a lot of hero ball. Now, Malik Willis, he is like a Lamar Jackson people are comparing him to. Yeah, his throwing is inconsistent at times, but he has the arm. He has an NFL arm, absolutely. So, and then you have Howell as well. So you'll have a few options. So if you ask me, it's tough. It's just you kind of got to go by just how the draft goes, by how the draft lands. So they could get a higher draft pick. So what were they playing last week? They just played the Browns. So I believe they're playing the Ravens. I think they already played the Steelers twice, or the Bengals twice. So I believe they're playing the Ravens. Let me check real quick. So yes, I double checked, and they are playing the Ravens. So if they lose that game and say, they're gonna go behind Baltimore, they may even drop behind the Saints. I'm not sure, but maybe you drop down a few more picks if you lose. But really, I think any of these three guys on top, maybe Howell. Howell may be a solid guy because I think he's the most NFL ready out of all these guys. Because Malik Willis, he's raw. Corral, he's not that raw, but he's inconsistent at times, and he's kind of reckless. Kenny Pickett, he doesn't have much upside, if you ask me. I think he Maybe Kenny Pickett is the most NFL ready. So it's probably between Pickett and Howell. But honestly, if you ask me, I think Howell would be the guy for Pittsburgh in the draft. I don't know. I think he just fits them. Like, I think he does. Najee Harris is a good back. You're not going to be running all the time with your quarterback like crazy, like Malik Willis would like to. Malik Willis has a run first mentality. He puts his head down. He tries to run. I think he tries to do that too much, and that's something you can't. Some things like that you can't really coach out of a player. Once they do that for so long, once it's something that they do, it's very difficult to change it. But do the Steelers really want to go with the rookie? Because I don't know if they really want to be fair. But if I had to pick one, I'm probably going to pick Sam Howell. He is inconsistent at times. He can be. But his footwork is great. His mechanics are good. He's got an NFL arm. His pocket presence is okay. I think Howell would be a good fit. So I would pick Howell as probably my number one guy to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I could see Kenny Pickett, but you got to put the fancies away, even though he's from Pittsburgh. Playing for the Steelers is a nice story, but in the NFL stories, they don't care. And plus, I also see a lot of people saying Pickett because, he's going to fit the system. But when you're drafting in the top 15 for quarterback, or the first round even, you can't worry about plugging that quarterback into a system. Draft a quarterback and make the system around him and let him run the system. I'm trying to say, if you're going to draft a quarterback early, he's going to be the system. He's going to be the guy that creates the system, that fixes the system, that keeps it going. You know what I'm trying to say? Like the Ravens, for example. They had Joe Flacco. No one thought that Lamar Jackson was a fit to their scheme. It doesn't matter. When you draft a player in first round or even top 10 especially, you want that quarterback to be a system. Mac Jones is a little different. You have Bill Belichick. You have all that great stuff going your way. There's exceptions to every rule. There's exceptions to everything. And that's one I can think of. So you guys let me know. Who do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers should go with for their quarterback next year? Is there someone that I didn't mention here that you can maybe see them picking up? Maybe Carson Strong, maybe even? Maybe they wait till later. Maybe they like a guy like Bailey Zappi. From Western Kentucky. Desmond Ridder, not a big fan of Desmond Ridder at all. He is so wildly inconsistent. I wouldn't let him touch the first round. But it is what it is. Maybe another team, maybe someone else sees something different in him, but I don't. So you guys let me know. Let me know down in the comment section down below what you think. How do you feel about Big Ben leaving? It's sad. It stinks. Ben was a very good quarterback for a long time. But it's the NFL. You age, you get older, you start to lose your arm a bit, and you just start to lose it. And that's what has happened with Big Ben. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. And like I said, if I didn't say anyone that you think that the Pittsburgh Steelers should maybe go after, maybe someone in the draft I didn't mention, maybe the trade targets, let me know. Who do you want the Pittsburgh Steelers to pick up for their quarterback? And I greatly appreciate you all watching. You have a great day, and I'll catch y'all next time. Thank you.